Hi, you're on the Alice Reddit Stories channel. Subscribe to my channel as well as to my Facebook, the link is in the description. Enjoy watching. Story 1 OOP Husband stopped inviting me to his work events, and it's because the guys made fun of my boobs. Original, October 31st, 22. Husband stopped inviting me to his work events, and it's because the guys made fun of my boobs. My husband and I have been together for 9 years. He started his company with some friends of his a year after. He is the major owner. They have 120 employees now. 80% men. About a year ago, my husband has stopped taking me to company parties, events, dinners, etc. He always made up some excuse about taking MIL instead or some other family member. Also sometimes he didn't tell me at all that there was some event and just went by himself, the smaller events. He said it was because he wanted the rest of the family to celebrate him too. I was a bit hurt, but I thought that he was probably right. He is now in a big city in Europe on a big launch of a product. He took SIL with him. I admit that I cried when he excluded me this time too, because this was a big deal for his company, but he promised that he would take me on a luxury vacation instead, just the two of us. This is his thing now. Every time I'm excluded, I get a trip or jewelries. I'm good friends with the other wives, the owners, and one of them is 8 months pregnant, so she wasn't in that city. She was surprised to know that I was home too, so we planned a lunch. This is when she told me about an incident that happened at my husband's work. In one of the conference rooms, somebody forgot to turn the projector off from the previous meeting. The conference rooms are located in the middle with glasswork walls and doors so everybody can see inside. On the big screen, there was a list of names. The wives of the owners and some of the management, and my name was first one with 2, 3, 4, 10 empty and the next name on 11. My husband heard about this and they had an intern investigation, and it turned out that group of coworkers were having fun ranking boobs of the wives. My husband was very angry. The wife who was telling M was very surprised that I didn't know, because this had created a buzz apparently, and her husband told her about it. She assumed my husband told me too, but he didn't. When I asked her when this was, it was around the same time my husband stopped inviting me to his parties. I'm so hurt and embarrassed now. I didn't know he was ashamed of me. I'm 100% sure this is the reason why he doesn't want me there, and I don't know if I should confront him about it. I haven't done anything wrong, and at least I deserve to know what's been going on behind my back. I'm just so mad. Sorry, it is hard for me to know what to include and not include. Maybe some details are unnecessary and that I left out important details. Almost none of the guys from that group work there anymore. I never wear provocative or revealing clothes. It makes me more sad because if he is blaming me, then I don't know what I should have worn on the events. Thank you for your comments. The majority seems to believe that my husband's reaction was the right and healthy one because he loves me and wants to protect me. The love part one understand. We both love each other, but the protect me part. I'm 38 and I can stand up for myself. Would it be okay if the roles were reversed? Do I have any rights to keep him away if it was his D that was ranked by my colleagues? I'm not something to be hidden and protected. I don't know. I don't mean to offend the people that comment because I'm not ungrateful, but I really want to understand. Update 1, November 5th, 22. Update. Husband stopped inviting me to his work events, and it's because the guys made fun of my boobs. Hi again, I have a little update. I hope I don't ramble away your whole evening though. I don't know how to feel about everything right now. Before I update, I want to address something. I stand by the title. I got many messages, probably from men, asking why I called it making fun when they were rating me high. Let me tell you this, unsolicited compliments are harassment. A bunch of men that I don't know or care about discussing my and other women bodies is not cute. I don't feel special and I don't get any satisfaction nor confidence from it. I know this will bring more hate in the DMs, but this is the dark side of the internet and I'm aware of it, so bring your best misogynistic shit on. I will report anybody who steps over my boundaries though. Second, I think I made the top of the list basically because my husband is the owner, not because I'm humble bragging about my hotness. My husband arrived this morning. Maybe I should have waited until tomorrow to talk to him and just spend today cuddling. Oh well. I made it till lunch after his nap. I told him about my lunch with the other wife and asked him if he stopped taking me to company events because of what happened, and he simply said yes. Didn't even try to deny it. I asked him why, and he was surprised because it was obvious. He said that he didn't want his colleagues ogling his wife, disrespecting him. He didn't tell me because he didn't want to upset or hurt me, and that he was sorry that I found out. I told him that he should have let me decide what embarrassed and hurt me. That I felt like he had taken away my agency. He got annoyed and said I don't want my private life mixed with my work life. I like to keep them separate. I tried to argue some more, but he just shut me down and said that this discussion was over. I didn't feel good afterwards, but I dropped it anyway. He apologized later and told me to respect how he handled the situation. He felt undermined and disrespected when the gossip started about me and the other wives, so did the other CEOs and management, but with me there were more gruesome details like photoshopped pornographic pictures and clips with my face that were being spread around. I'm a minority, so there were some element of fetishism and racism involved. I was targeted more than the other women, and that's why the others didn't take the drastic measures my husband did. There was a huge inquiry with HR and IT departments involved to trace the source, and many were fired or bought out. My husband decided then that he didn't want this to happen ever again, and his solution was to separate work and private life. I didn't argue, just listened to him. I have to say, and I know that you, based on the support my husband got in my previous post, that you will disagree with me, that I totally disagree with how he handled this. They did a great job taking this matter seriously, taking actions against those who were involved, and I was what? Collateral damage? Casualties? I should have decided about something that targeted me as a person, but he did it for himself. He wanted to spare himself the headache and embarrassment/disrespect, not me. I have been with him since the start, and I have been his number one believer even when things were rough in the beginning, and I basically own half his shares. All of this is all so unfair. Sorry for another rant. Won't be the last, I'm afraid, but I hope the grammar was better this time, because I did proofread, smiley face. Update 2, November 8, 22. Final update, probably not though. Husband stopped inviting me to his work events, and it's because the guys made fun of my boobs. Hi everyone. Please kick me out if I'm being a nuisance here, but it is Monday night and my husband is sleeping next to me and I can't fall asleep and I have an update, laughing face, don't hate me. Just ignore me if I'm being an attention hoe. If you like attention hoes, then please proceed. So this weekend has been very boring. My husband has been a bit standoffish towards me and I towards him. We didn't argue or fight, but we weren't all cuddly and fuzzy like we usually are. Weekends are something we look forward to because we, mostly he, work very long hours during the week and don't see much of each other. This weekend I just kept to myself and met a few friends. I talked to him Saturday morning about us probably hitting a dead end and in need of some guidance, like counseling or therapy or even mother-in-law to mediate between us, but he adamantly refused, and it was of course, end of discussion. To be honest, this side of him is very new and strange to me. He never dismissed me like this before. He always listened to and respected what I had to say, and he always came to me first for advice, for anything even work-related. Often, when I didn't understand the details, he just asked for a general advice. It has been like this since we met. He has always trusted me. I guess when the problem was me, he didn't come to me for advice. Isn't that ironic? Anyway, today I just felt like I wanted to eat lunch with my husband after my workout, and I happened to be around his office 15 minutes before lunchtime. I also happened to be wearing my workout gear that happened to be a bit cleavagey and maybe a bit very tight, but I had a jacket, so there's no problem, was there? I made sure that I said hi to everybody that I met on my way up to my husband's office, and I made sure to stay and chat to those I have known for years. My husband looked like he had seen a ghost. I told him that I was totally fine waiting outside until he could take his lunch break and that I could chat with his colleagues in the meantime, but he immediately wanted to leave. His face expression was a mixture of amused and annoyed. When we were leaving the building, I made sure that I said hi to everyone I met. When we arrived at the restaurant, he said that he knew what I was doing, but I just said that I wanted to eat lunch with him and that I will continue to want to eat lunch with him until he started treating me as a human being with feelings as acute as his. He was still annoyed and didn't say anything more. We had a nice lunch date anyway. When he came home, he was still angry with me and didn't talk much, but then after dinner, he came to me. He kissed me and apologized for everything. He said that he was trying to spare me, still, but that he was wrong to exclude me. I told him that we had a problem and that we probably needed help, and he said, probably, but that he wasn't keen on the idea yet because we didn't really have any other issues. I told him that if he was trying to apologize so that I would stop showing up at his work, then he was sadly mistaken. He just laughed and told me that he knew me well not to try to stop me, maybe less cleavage next time. I said yes. Honestly, I think we have serious issues here. And they're far from over or solved. I will try to be more open and talk to him more, and maybe I can persuade him to seek therapy. For himself and for us as a couple. Anyway, I'm browsing dresses for the Christmas party. Emil is gonna need to sit this one out. Guys, take it easy with the hate. The lunch dates are something we had all the time before the boob ban. At least twice a week. I'm just resuming our tradition because I miss my husband. Last update, I swear. Okay, don't kill me. At least I'm not doing a new post. Today's lunch went great. This time when I showed up, my husband had a very wide smile on his face. I waited half an hour for him to finish his work, and I had the chance to chat to several of his colleagues. Many of them asked me where I have been, especially the ladies. I told them that I have been busy with work. Lie. I only work part-time now. I think they know why I had disappeared, to be honest. Anyway, the lunch was great. My husband is a bit more talkative. I think we can fix this. I hope that he will eventually feel safe enough to tell me how this incident has affected him and his mentality, because I don't want him to be hurt, not alone anyway. Story 2 OOPAITA for telling my daughter it's her fault she has no pictures of herself. AITA for telling my daughter it's her fault she has no pictures of herself. March 8, 2021. Okay, so I, 54F, have 5 kids, 3 bio, 2 step. The issue is with my eldest, Clem, who is 26F. The only pictures I have of Clem are from the day she was born to around her 8th birthday, but none after that. She would ruin any picture she was in by making funny faces, hiding from the camera, making weird signs with her hands, or by messing with other people. It was like this until she was 12, when she started to straight up refuse. We would tell her to come for the family photo, but she would refuse. We never forced her, but would gently encourage her. She even refused school pictures. I have no pictures of birthdays, graduations, prom photos, holidays, or days out with her in them. It broke my heart because I don't have any pictures of her growing up. Family photos look odd because she's not in them. Clem is 26 now and is pregnant with her first child. She brought her over for dinner, and after we were looking at photo albums, we got to hers, and she saw hers was nearly empty. She asked where all her pictures were, and I told her she refused to have any taken. She got all teary-eyed and told me to stop joking. At this point, I'm very annoyed. I tell her I'm not joking and that she did this to herself. I told her if she had swallowed her pride and had even one picture, we wouldn't be like this today. She got angry and thought I had printed out the ones she had messed up. She got super upset and went to sit in the car. The next today, I got a few texts from family members calling me an asshole for putting her on blast and humiliating her. Ida? Edit, thank you for all your replies. I do want to clear something up. Whilst I agree it was a shitty move not to include goofy or rude pictures, that's not what Clem has an issue with. She's upset that I have no pictures of her from age 12 to 18 to fill the album with, and the few I do have caused extreme reactions from Clem. I can't fill an album with pictures I never took. That's what she's upset about, not the omission of goofy/rude photos. Edit 2, To those of you saying, who cares about rude gestures or goofy faces, I didn't realize this needed saying, but the family photos weren't just for me, they were for everyone involved, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents on all sides, etc. I can guarantee none of them want an 8 years old making the eat out gesture in what is meant to be their nice family photo. Edit 3. It's kind of sad to see so many people assume that because a child has anxiety, that I berate them whenever they mess around when taking a photo. I never yelled at Clem for making silly faces, would simply encourage her to stop and smile, but her rude gestures and faces would ramp up. But I guess that's what you expect on this sub. Everyone hates their kids. Update March 12, 2021. So it's been less than a week, because I wanted to make amends ASAP, so I printed off all the pictures and put them in the album. They didn't fill it, but I made a spread on one of the pages that said, "Go make new memories," with a picture of her and her fiancé. I put a lot of work into making it look cute. I called her and asked to talk. She arrived and we had a long discussion. I asked if she had any trauma or self-esteem issues, in a more tactful way, obviously, and she said no, she simply did not like having her photo taken and adopted the behavior of screeching and kicking to avoid photos. She did say she had anxiety and that's why she had panic attacks, but that it was mostly because she was gassing herself up, if that makes sense. I knew she had anxiety, but not that she gassed herself up, if that makes sense. By the way, gassing herself up are her words, not mine. Regarding her visit, the one that kicked things off, she explained that she was embarrassed by her behavior and even more so when it was exposed to her fiancé. She said she didn't quite realize how much time she had lost and that it was very emotional time for her. I apologized for my wording during our spat and we both made up. I even showed her the post and we read the comments together. We had quite a laugh at all the armchair psychologists and internet detectives that claimed just because she knew a sexual gesture as a child, she was in danger. Some people were writing borderline fanfiction and rewriting my entire history with my daughter based on one post. That's talent. After a little bit of talking, I brought out the album and gave it to her. She was happy, and she seemed to take responsibility over the fact she refused to have pics taken. I told her I had printed out the candid ones from when she was 12 to 18 and asked if she wanted them. She said no. She really liked the page with her and her fiancé, which made me super happy. So that's that. You might find this hard to believe, but other than this incident, which we are working through, we have a very good relationship. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. There are many interesting articles ahead.